Hello my beautiful friends, welcome back to the channel. I am very excited today because we are making a Vietnamese dish. So this is a home style dish. You aren't really going to find this in restaurants. And this is caramelized pork belly. This is my version. So these are the ingredients for the marinade. Pause here. And these are the ingredients for the caramel and the simmer. So we are going to start off with cutting up our pork into bite-sized pieces. Now this is how I cut mine. You can cut yours as small or as big as you like. There's really no rules when it comes to cooking at home. And now we are going to measure with our heart. So you'll see this is how much I put for salt, oyster sauce, and soy sauce. And I know measuring with your heart can be a little bit intimidating. It really took me a while to trust myself, but trust yourself, and if not, then just use this eyeballing as a frame of reference when you do yours. So this is oyster sauce, and then I just add in a splash of soy sauce. So you'll notice that garlic was one of the ingredients on the list, and from the video you do not see any garlic added in here. This is because I didn't have any garlic. It's still going to be okay, but I do recommend you add garlic. Add as much or as little as you want. And I mince my garlic if you're curious. I think grating it will bring out the flavor of the garlic more. But this is what it's going to look like when it is fully covered. And we're just going to wrap it up and then let it marinate for 30 minutes. So while we wait, we do a little bit of tidying, and my kitchen has a pretty tiny sink, but I made it work. So 30 minutes, and once 30 minutes is up, we are going to start our caramel sauce. So in a pot, a large pot, we are going to add 4 tablespoons of sugar, and now we are going to add a tablespoon of oil. I have olive oil on hand, so that is what I'm using. And it's gonna look like this. And don't stir it, don't touch it, just let it heat up. And while we wait for that, we are going to prepare our coconut juice or coconut water. And we're going to need 1 cup of this. And in other households, we actually use this coconut soda, but I didn't have it. My mom actually uses it, but yeah, I don't have it, so I'm just using coconut water, and it works out. And if you don't have coconut water, you could just use water. You'll be fine. And now we wait for our caramel, and this is the reality of filming. You create a little bit of a mess, but it's fine. So it's starting to change in color a little, but we're going to help it out by giving it a little twirl so that the oil fully covers the sugar. And you'll see it's starting to bubble up a little, so I'm going to help it out even more by giving it a little stir. And you have to be very careful. Give your full attention at this part because it's going to quickly change color. So I'm going to stir it around, and once you see it becomes this beautiful amber color, we are pretty much ready to add in our pork belly mixture. So I'm just going to dump the entire thing in. Lower your heat before doing this just so you don't splash yourself too much. But we're going to dump it in, and you probably don't see it here, but I am going to increase the heat later on just so that it cooks a little quicker and gives it more color. So this is what it looks like in the pot. I'm just going to stir it around, make sure that the caramel sauce gets fully covered in the pork belly. And once you are happy with the color and you don't see any more pink in your meat, it is time to add in the coconut juice. So 1 cup of coconut juice, coconut water, and 2 to 3 tablespoons of fish sauce. I would say start out with 2, and you could taste test later. If you feel like it's missing a little bit of salt, then add a 3rd one. I know that I like it with 3, so I add 3, as you can see in this video. And I'm going to add some of my remaining frozen shallots, as well as some chili peppers for some spice. You don't have to do this if you don't like spicy, but I like it, so I'm going to add it. And this is what it looks like in the pot. Give it a good mix before we cover it with the lid and let it simmer on low heat for 30 minutes again. And now 30 minutes has passed, so we are going to give it a little bit of a taste test. And what you're looking for here is really the texture. So this is a great time to assess taste as well if you want to add in your extra tablespoon of fish sauce. But I'm just going to do a little taste test. So I'm looking for a good piece to try out. And with this test piece, I noticed that the fat of the pork belly wasn't as soft as I like it, and the meat also wasn't as tender and fall apart as I like it. So I am going to put this back on a simmer, but before I do so, I'm going to add in my boiled eggs, and I have 6, so I added 6 eggs. It doesn't really matter if you do soft boil because it's honestly going to end up cooking even more in the pot anyways, so there's that. But after another 30 minutes has passed, it is time for a second taste test. So here's the piece that I have, and look at how beautifully it just breaks with the chopstick. Barely any resistance, and that is what I'm looking for, and a good indicator to me to let me know that my pork belly is pretty much good. But as I said before, it really is all personal preference. If you like a little bit more bite to yours, definitely maybe at the 30-minute mark you're good. But that's the beauty about cooking at home. You really get to cater it to your taste. And right here you see me fluff up some rice, and I'm going to start plating my dish. So I probably took too big of a plate to plate this up, so it's gonna look a little weird, but I added about that much rice and a good portion of pork belly. And then I wanted 2 eggs, so I gave myself 2 eggs. Now I must say, this dish is good, but on the second day, oh my god, it's even better with the flavors all developed. And another thing, I like to garnish it with fried red onions. This is just to add some more texture, and I love the taste of it. And this is what it looks like. I definitely should have used a smaller bowl, and I don't know how to do food photography, but that's the best that I could do. So here it is. I'm sitting down. I am going to enjoy the first couple bites with you guys. So first I'm gonna have a scoop of pork belly and rice. And don't freak out if you hate watching people eat. This is a time to go away. But I was very happy, super comforting, and now with an egg in the mixture, this was a pretty big bite for me, so I had to cover my mouth. And this is such a comforting dish. I hope you guys try it out. Thank you so much for joining me in this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.